Welcome to my channel. This is your host Umesh. Today's topic is Introduction to AWS. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of compute resources over the internet. For example, OS, storage, servers, databases. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers on premises, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases on an as needed basis. We will be paying as per the uses. AWS works on a pay as you use model. Prior to the cloud, all organizations set up their data centers on premises, but organizations has to maintain these data centers resources even those are not in use and it associated with the cost. Let's take one example. The Flipkart offers the sales whenever we have the festivals. In this period, users traffic will increase on a Flipkart website. To manage this traffic, Flipkart has to arrange server resources. Let's compare this use case with on-premises setup and the cloud setup. In case of on-premises setup, Flipkart has to maintain their additional resources even those are not in use, and definitely this setup bind with the cost. In case of cloud, Flipkart can release those additional resources when those resources are not in use, and it saves the cost, and this is the benefit of the cloud. Type of cloud computing: infrastructure as a service. It's provide the access to the networking features, computers, and the data storage. The best example is unfurnished flat. Whenever you purchase the unfurnished flat, you have to build up your furniture as per your requirement. Second type is platform as a service. Platform as a service removes the need for you to manage the underlying infrastructure. The best example is semi-furnished flat. When you buy the semi-furnished flats, you will get some basic furnitures. On top of that, you have to build your own furniture as per the requirement. In terms of AWS service, Elastic Beanstalk is the best example. Whenever you want to deploy your website, you can deploy website using the Elastic Beanstalk. Whenever you deploy the website using the Elastic Beanstalk, you have to only take care of your application and the data. Whatever the underlying infrastructures you needed for that websites is taken care by the AWS. Third type is software as a service. Built-in softwares have to be used. Software as a service provides you with a complete products that is run and managed by the service provider. The best example is fully furnished flat. When you buy fully furnished flat, you will get everything in it. You have to just use it. The other examples are the Salesforce, Dropbox, and also the Gmail. Gmail is also the best example of software as a services. If you see this diagram, when you are depend on the on premises, you have to manage everything: networking, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middlewares, runtime, data, applications. All this you have to manage yourself. When you are using infrastructure as a service, networking, storage, servers, virtualizations will be managed by the cloud. So you are not responsible for these services, but OS, middleware, runtime, data, applications will be the responsibility of yours. The next is platform as a service. Everything is managed by the cloud. Only thing is you have to manage that is application and the data. The best example of this services is Elastic Beanstalk, as I explained you. The next is software as a service. Everything is managed by the cloud, so you have to just need to use those services. Next topic is regions, availability zones, and the edge locations. What is region? Region is nothing but grouping of data centers into the separate geographic locations. For example, Asia Pacific. It's also called AP South 1. There are 31 geographic locations where all over the world where we have the availabilities of the regions. If you see on the right side screenshots, these are the regions available into the AWS. What is availability zone? Availability zone is nothing but the data centers within the AWS regions. For example, AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C are the availability zones in the AP South 1 region. So as I explained, this is the AP South 1 region, and under these regions we have the three available availability zones, that is AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C. Each regions will have minimum 3 and the maximum 6 availability zones. Each availability zones isolated from the failures with Others availability zones. Each availability zones will have the redundant power, networking, and the connectivity to make sure the availability of our data. What is edge locations? There are 400 plus edge locations and 10 plus regional caches in the 90 plus cities of 40 plus countries. Content is delivered to the end users with the low latency using edge locations. What is latency? Latency is measured into the time. It is a time. It is time required to travel the data packet from the one point to the another point, and the edge locations is deliver the content to the end user with the low latency. So that is the benefit of edge locations. If you see this diagram, regions and the availability zones, as I explained, there will be a minimum 3 availability zones and the maximum 6 availability zones under one region. So if you see this diagram, this is the region AP South 1, and under these regions we have the AP South 1A, AP South 1B, and the AP South 1C. All three availability zones are connected with each others, and also each availability zones will have the redundant power and the redundant network to make sure if one availability zones get failed, our data is secured into the other another availability zones. This is an AWS global infrastructure map. If you see here, all these are regions available all over the world. So this is in Mumbai regions, it having a 3 availability zones. This is in Hyderabad regions, it having a 3 availability zones. If you see here, this is in northern Virginia, it's having the 6 availability zones. All as I explained, there will be a minimum 3 availability zones and the maximum 6 availability zones available in each regions. All other regions are having a 3 availability zones. So if you see here, this regions having a 4 availability zones. So this is an AWS global infrastructure map. So there are 31 geographic locations where are the regions are available, 99 availability zones, and the 400 plus edge locations available all over the world. Edge locations and the regional edge cache. First, let's try to understand what is latency. Latency is the time required to send request to data center and send back result from data center to user. Let's try to understand what is edge location and the regional edge cache from this diagram. There is 400 plus edge locations and the 13 regional edge caches located all over the world. Multiple edge locations connected with single regional edge caches. Let's say our shopping cart website hosted on a Mumbai region data center. Now we have 3 users, 2 users from US, 1 user from India. All 3 users located in a different geographic location with the different distance from the data center. Now the requirement is the content should be delivered to end user with the low latency without considering the geographic location. When user hit our website, request will not send directly to our data center. Instead of that, request first send to edge location. On edge location, it will first check is the requested data result available in cache or not. If yes, then the content will be delivered to end user from edge location only. If requested data result not available in cache on edge location, then request goes to regional edge cache and check for availability for result in a cache. If requested result is available, then the content will be delivered to end user from regional edge caches only. If requested data's result not available in regional edge cache, then request send to data center and fetch the result from data center and send back to end user via regional edge cache and the edge location. In this case, result get cache in regional edge cache and the edge location. Now, if any other user requested same result or the same data, then AWS will search that request in edge location first and then deliver content to the end user. This way, AWS edge location will help to deliver the data content to end user with the low latency. Point to consider while choosing a AWS region. First is data governance and the legal requirements. Some of the countries bind with their legal terms and they will not allow you to leave their data outside the regions without the legal permissions. Second is reduce latency, delivery of the content with the low latency. For example, Flipkart having their customer base in the India, then they have to choose Mumbai or the Hyderabad region to make sure the content will deliver to end user with the low latency. Third is availability of services and the pricing. Some of the services are not available in all the regions. Also, the pricing of the services will be differed based on the regions. So, while choosing the regions, these are the points we need to consider. The next is this is the URL you have to browse and you have to follow the steps to open the free tier account. You have to pay some amount for the credit card verification, and once your credit card get verified, AWS will refund back your amount. You will get the 1 year free tier account. After the 1 year, the same account will convert it into the paid account. I will walk through the AWS dashboard. So this is an AWS dashboard. If you see here, the first widget is recently visited. So all these services I have used. So that's why it is showing into the recently visited screen. So this screen might be different from for you. Since this part is showing whatever the services I have used recently. This is the services tab. You will see all the services and you can navigate to that particular services. So this is the recently visited, whatever the services I have recently visited, all is showing here. At right top corner you will see the my account section. Under this we have the billing dashboard. Under the billing dashboard you will see all your billing, per month billing, and whatever the resources we are using and the cost associated with that resources. So next is, if you see here, this is an global, it is indicating global because the billing dashboard is not associated with any region. It associated with your account, so that's why it is showing the global. If you click here, you will see all the regions available under the AWS account. If you go to the EC2 instances, or then if you see this, it is converted into the region because EC2 is not a global service. So if you click here, you will see all the available regions, and you can choose whatever the regions, and you can create resources under those the regions. So right now I have selected Asia Pacific, that is a Mumbai region, AP South 1. You can search any services by typing here, I want to search EC2, then I will type EC2 and enter. It will navigate me to the EC2 dashboard. Then let's say I have typed the VPC, enter. I will land into the VPC screen. If you have any feedback, please comment on a video. Thank you for watching.